When I was working as a community service executive at YWCA, I wanted to be more involved to provide support for the clients I work with, especially with children from low-income families. It was a conversation with my then colleague who worked as a social worker that sparked my interest to learn more about social work. It was interesting to me that the work not only focuses on the individual's intrapersonal, but also on the holistic, where there could be system barriers which requires advocacy from social workers. I used to only have a micro view of issues whereby it only revolves around the individual. But after speaking to her about social work, I realized that it's a very myopic view. I then decided that I would like to equip myself with the knowledge and skills to expand my perspective and understanding of social issues. Hence, I chose to join social work.
For my entire life, I am fully aligned with the value of service to humanity. The turning point came when I was staff member of the NUS Chua Tian Po Community Leadership Program, where I was deeply inspired by the undergraduate students who invested time and resources into community-based research projects with various local social service agencies. From my interaction with the students and agencies, I witnessed the importance of frontline work, and this motivated me to learn how to work with people in need directly. In addition, I realized the importance of systemic interventions to tackle complex social issues that are influenced by familiar, communal, and societal factors, which is a core model in social work. And after consulting with a few senior social work practitioners, I decided to jump in and join the social work profession.
It is important for me to live a meaningful and purpose-driven life. I started out by volunteering, but interestingly, my inspiration came from watching Saturday morning cartoons when I was a boy. The fictional heroes were often placed in challenging situations in their pursuit to help others in need. My parents also helped inculcate positive values such as social justice. Later, as a young adult, I got to know a close friend who had a difficult childhood experience. And though it was challenging to interact with this friend, who had perspectives and emotional needs due to these adverse childhood experiences, I was clear that I wanted to work with empowering people towards healing their scars and overcoming their struggles.
When I was an NUS undergraduate majoring in statistics, I read a number of undergraduate social work modules as my electives. I was impressed by the teaching staff's passion to uplift the well-being of people, especially those who are marginalized and disenfranchised. I was further impressed by the teaching quality. The instructor drew from their practice experience and wisdom that are combined with sound research and relevant theories to critically challenge and expand my worldview and thinking about social issues. Hence, if I were to seek a social work postgraduate qualification, I knew it would be with NUS without any reservation.
I chose to study the GDSW program at NUS because it has been an established program since 1999. The GDSW program at NUS is intentional in fostering a professional identity amongst us postgrad students. In addition, every module is taught on a weekday night over 13 weeks, and this gives me space on the weekends to pace and reflect on my learnings. For practicum, the NUS GDSW program also allows me to source for an agency of my interest. This gives me an autonomy in how I would like to be developed as a social work student. In addition, the MOE subsidies for the course really help to reduce the financial burden on me. Lastly, I chose to return to NUS, my alma mater. It was like coming home once again.
There's a longer story behind this, but I wanted to join my organisation FAYWEB after good experiences with their training program. Having graduated from a totally different field of engineering, one of the ways to join them was to have a social work qualification. A trainer from FAYWEB advised me to apply for the GDSW program in NUS. She shared that she had good experiences with the graduates in the field, especially in their ability to critically think and go deeper in practice. As an alumnus myself, I knew there was a pedigree and quality to the programs here.
Social work emphasizes the use of self because we are the very instruments that facilitate positive and desired changes. A key part of the self is about assumptions, values, and beliefs. The GDSW program facilitated my reflections and transformation on that part. This was done through interacting with my fellow classmates from diverse backgrounds and the patients and caregivers I saw during my practicum in a medical setting. As a result, I developed a greater awareness of the values that I possessed and how that influenced how I think and act. This was a critical and essential endeavor because values will heavily inform how I would interact with service users, who may be marginalized, disenfranchised, and hold beliefs that are radically different from mine. I'm currently a social work PhD candidate with the University of Hong Kong. Looking back, I credit the GDSW program for laying the foundation for my interest in social work research. With the facilitation and encouragement from the teaching staff, I was consistently curious about the links between research and practice and how they affect one another. The curiosity sparked during the program is certainly sustained when I was a medical social worker and now a PhD candidate.
There were a couple of things impressed upon me when I went through this program. Number one, it was global. NUS brought in bright minds from across the world to share their wisdom and knowledge. I was taught by teachers from Hong Kong, Korea, and Singapore. There was breadth. NUS expanded my perspectives in and beyond Singapore, and depth, providing the opportunity for us as students to critically examine the ethics, values, principles, theories, and systems that we would need to be aware of and consider as social workers. Now that I'm playing a more managerial role, I can see how my expanded perspectives practically prepared me to not just support my team, but to engage with partners and governing bodies to support sector and community better. Number two, the program also equips us holistically with practical skills and experiences, especially during practicum, for work in the field. For instance, I fondly remember one of the hands-on group projects that we had. We learned about and used a logic model to design and publicize from scratch and with a strict evidence-based literature review, a program to help children cope better with anger. The program development methodology was grounded, applicable, and stayed with me to this day. Lastly, GDSW is also about relationships. My project group friends are now scattered across the field, but because of this journey together in GDSW, I could forge friendships with like-minded people, and our professionals are also passionate people who really care and inspire us. When they teach, you know from their passion that they believe in this work with their hearts and minds. Do not worry if your previous field of study or career will be wasted. This is because the social work field is eclectic. It embraces a range of knowledge and thinking to tackle challenging social issues. My engineering background provided me with a valuable operational lens. As a manager, I'm more able to forecast trends and optimize resources. For instance, being better able to manage the workloads of my colleagues.
Professionally, GDSW has definitely helped me to chart my pathway to be a certified social worker who is equipped with the knowledge and skills to engage in individual casework, group work, and community work. Personally, the program has provided me a unique experience to meet aspiring social workers who come from different walks of life. Some who are in mid-career switch, some who have been in the sector for years, some who are fresh grads from different fields figuring their passion and career. And this was enlightening to me because it made me realize that the program is open to anyone. It allowed me to get exposed to valuable insights and understand real-world experience from my diverse classmates during discussions. Be open to learn about other people's values and belief systems, and at the same time be open to realize how your own values and beliefs have shaped your view of society, of people. It is not about having all the answers to your clients' problems, because more often than not, they have their own solutions prepared. Finally, remember that you are not alone. You have a community of support with you in this meaningful work as a social worker.
Social work is a tough, yet rewarding profession. Speak to as many people you feel needed to decide if social work is a right fit for yourself. Once you have that clear enough eyes and mind, join the NUS GDSW program. You will experience an eye-opening and transformative journey because of the rigorous and holistic training that the program offers. And when you graduate from the program, know that you will have the solid foundational knowledge and skills to tackle professional and even personal challenges that come your way.
I believe that those who seek to join social work are passionate individuals hoping to make a difference in others' lives. We are here to empower others to make the best decisions they can for themselves. This is a vigorous professional program, and you will graduate into a sector with high practice standards and expectations. It is a process that you will have to go through in your journey as a social worker. So, be intentional, self-aware, and build your practice proficiency so that you can do quality social work and effect life transformations, not just for others, but for yourself. If that speaks to you, do join this program in NUS.